ain't never done this live before. I think I hit the wrong button. I was testing how to do this, so I really have no clue um, how to work some of this computer stuff. So please forgive me. I see you a lot low contrast. I see a lot on my page. I appreciate you, man, watching. I see. I don't even know if anyone joins or how this works. Oh, okay. I'll give it a minute. I guess they'll join. How you doing, Luke Miller? I'm just on here. I really don't do much of life. I never have time. I got like 7 kids, and I run a nonprofit, and yeah, I'm rarely getting home from Honolulu. I'm supposed to go visit Honolulu pretty soon. I know a guy that is an officer down there. He's invited me down there. I appreciate you guys, man. People that join. That's actually pretty cool. I guess my wife told me to get on here and said people would ask me questions. Put in AirPods. Okay, hold on one second. Y'all can hear me okay? Or do I need AirPods? I'll say hi to wifey. She's over there folding clothes. So man, I really, I really didn't expect YouTube to be like this. It's actually been pretty fun. Yes, this is part of the challenge part. All right, let me know. Let me know what I gotta do to make this louder, because I'm not used to doing this stuff. How's it sound now? You can hear me fine. All right. Muffled. All right, a little better. I got to get one of them things that. Hold on. Let me grab my AirPods. Hold on one second. How's that sound? That sounds better. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I really, uh, I really have a good time. What happened? Actually, the story of why do I speak out so much? Um, I guess my niche is just like calling out stupidity that I see in the cop industry that I want to see done better. Um, so what started? I actually spoke out. This was years ago when I was treated like I've been doing this job for a long time, and I was treated really, really bad um, when I was off duty, and that's when I'm gonna start talking about some of this stuff that needs to change and some of these attitudes because there's just such a disconnect between officers and citizens, and it really it really frustrated me for a long time. And then I found out I spoke up, and that a lot of people were actually thinking the same stuff that I thought. And so, you know what? Let me just keep talking about this stuff. And my department really kind of had my back. I know some people that get mad that I never give praise to cops, but like I do all the time. The guys that work with me love me. I just want to fix that disconnect. I'm really if you don't know too much about what I do and where I'm from, I actually run a I've been a cop 19 years. I'm just north of Chicago. And so I started a nonprofit in my city about 10 years ago. And so I have a real good connection. It ended up being like it's called MFB. You'll hear me refer to it all the time. Um, MFB it's really turned out to be just an open door for most of my kids that are off the street. So they can come and we take care of them. We try to get them jobs. We first and foremost we teach them about God. We mentor them. We walk with them. We make sure that they're they're safe, and we just have a really good time. And I started making the connection with all the kids off the street, and turned into a really good organization. And I hear a lot of what they say and their perception of the police. And I grew up just like them. I was no saint growing up, and I never really enjoyed. I actually hated police growing up. So I saw all the stuff that didn't make sense to me. And then when I became a cop, it was it even became more clear. There was a lot of stuff that was just so wrong, and the attitudes towards the people was just wrong at times. And I said, let me start talking about this stuff because you kind of lead by example, and people will follow suit. So I think I made a big change around my city and my PD, and you just kind of just gotta lead by example. Man, I get warned all the time about speaking up, but I mean, I do it with good intentions. I do it with love in my heart because I really want to see stuff change, and I think I'm pretty. I've had a lot of talks with my bosses. They tried to get me in trouble a bunch of times at work. People will call in and he shouldn't say this, he shouldn't say that. But my bosses, they got my back. That because really, what I've said is they really can't argue against because I've just said things that I want to bring that disconnect. I want to connect people and tear that wall down. I'm sick of that lying crap. Let's see what we got here. I've been on a couple of talk shows, low contrast and podcasts. I want to go on some more. I just need to find some time. Sherry, I appreciate that. I do get a lot of support. I get a lot of backlash from. I think more of it's trolls on here in comments, but I get inboxes from officers all the time. Say, man, but everything you say is true. Keep doing what you're doing. So, and you guys, the citizens that support me, I love it. I love speaking up because I feel like that I try to give a voice to what I see as the right thing to do. Who treated me? I'm not into throwing people under the bus. I'm just going to tell you that some officers treated me really, really bad, and that was pretty much. I spoke publicly on it. I knew I was taking a chance. I did, and then I turned out I got a lot of support. So I'm like, you know, what? I'm just going to keep speaking my mind. Yeah, I do have to get permission from the missus to to do some of this stuff. Uh, you guys see some of them videos from Jamaica? Oh my gosh. That was a wonderful time. My wife she's a trip. Let's see if there's any questions. Yeah, I appreciate all the props and the people that support me. Um, a lot of topics that started. Let me see. I'm just trying to read through some of these. I don't have my reading glasses either. I just kind of wanted to test this live. I didn't realize so many people would jump on. Mm, my marriage is going good. Jeff Parrish, I appreciate you. If you know Zion, everyone, you know what's funny is I get a lot of people that think that they'll Google Zion and they'll see there's like 25,000 people in our city, like I'm a small town that I don't see real crime. That's like makes us laugh around Zion. Jeff, tell them about Zion. Um, Zion is a very very busy city. We've seen. I mean, I've been here 19 years. I've seen everything there is to see in police work. We have. Um, it's a very my city. I love my city because I grew up there, but my city has a lot of issues with violence and drugs, and it's pretty tough. And I'll tell you, everyone that asks me about like the dynamic of my city of Zion, which I love, um, I always give them this example. I run this outreach program, right? You'll see me do videos with these kids from my program. It's once a week. We run it on Fridays. We do field trips and stuff, but it's mainly on Fridays. And you'll see that there's a group of kids in there, right? And out of those kids, since we've been keeping track, since for the 9 8 8 we've been together about 8 or 9 years. um between I would say now between between 50 and 60 of them have been hit with bullets. Um, so that just gives you a sense of out of my group, 50 kids have been shot, which is way too much for a city of 25,000. It's crazy. We've had to bury, I believe the number's up to 13 now. So I mean, it just gives you kind of a sense of what I see on the streets of my city. We're very, very busy. It's not a small town. It's not Mayberry. I get trolled on here that it is. That looks like I work in Mayberry, which is kind of funny. Um, but it tells me the need that the cops need to be connected to the streets to show some of these kids the way, like to show them that man, this that this violence here on earth that we see, it leads to death. All of this fighting with your brother leads to death. And that's kind of what we show 'em. And I show them a little bit of what God showed me, and it's am I Hispanic? Yes, I'm Mexican and Irish, so half and half. I'm one of them half breeds. Ace Rock. Oh, man. Lewis and 173. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I got stories all night long with that, Jeff. Record me, try to antagonize me. Have people tried? That's a great question. Have I had people try to record me? Have YouTube channels where they approach officers. Yeah, they record us all the time. We go into neighborhoods, and I mean, there was a certain time where there would be a camera on every traffic stop, and that's why I know what I'm talking about with First Amendment stuff. You just like you have nothing to hide. You should act like you're on camera anyway, right? So when you see it, I'll see them there, and they're not a threat to me. They're just standing there with a camera in front of me. They're not a threat. I give them a peace sign. Oh, they most of the times they'll say, "Oh, that's Thornton." They know they're not going to record anything controversial because I'm a straight cop. The neighborhoods love me, and I'm always fair to people. So why do so many cops hide their badge on TikTok? That's probably because of policies, and their bosses don't want to put in their badge, I guess, on social media. Which is, I mean, if you're just having fun or trying to be a human, I don't see a problem with it. I've been on TV with my badge multiple times. On talk shows with my Zion PD. I've been on the news with my Zion PD talking about crime, talking about mental health and stuff like that. So if you're representing, I don't see anything wrong with it. It actually makes us human. North Michigan, how you doing up there in North Michigan, man? Uh, the marked when you're smoking weed. You can do that here in Illinois now. Me too. Irish and Mexican. Rosie, that's a perfect combination. That's why you always say I stopped drinking because I was terrible drunk years ago. That's a bad combo for me. Both sides of my family. I have 7 kids, righteous. Yes. Texas, my grandfather, he was Tejano. He was from San Antonio. Texas is like your own country. I love you guys down there. I've been down there a few times. Do you think a lot of bad cops we see on YouTube have seen too much and they been jaded by the job? Yeah, that's a huge thing, and that's a good question, Kurt. Um, the attitude and the stuff that we see people on their worst day, so it can resonate into the way that you look at people. But I'll never excuse that because I see the same things. You need to get help for that, and it doesn't excuse you ever being mean to the citizens. We swore an oath to be good to the citizens, so that I don't let that be an excuse that we see terrible things, therefore we can treat people. That's not an excuse to do that. The citizens you should cherish. The citizens you swore an oath to protect them, and you took this job to understandably. I understood that I'm gonna be taking risks and taking chances that could get hurt at this job. They shot at me a couple times. Um, Luckily, they missed, praise the Lord. But like I understand that there's going to be situations that I may get hurt. But that's what I signed up for. I don't need sympathy for it. I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me. This is what I signed up for. I appreciate support, but I don't. I'm not. I don't do those pity party things where, oh, well, my job is so dangerous and I see this, therefore I can act this way. No, you always act with respect towards people. Dwayne Harris, my man. I love you, brother. We got to meet one day. You're my guy. What made you change my life around? Huh. Well, that was an easy story. That's in that documentary they shot about me. I changed my life around. God intercepted my life. See, a lot of my personal issues I treated with alcohol and hedonism. back in the day. You see it on if you watch that documentary, it's one of my videos on here. But God saved me. It's really a crazy story. That's kind of why I wrote a book on it, and I really don't know why, but I struggle with mental health issues, and for some reason, He picked me to interrupt my life one night, and things have never been the same for me, and it's kind of took me on a different path in life. So I am a Bible believing follower of Jesus Christ. I am not ashamed to say that. If you don't believe that or you're not a Bible believer, I love you anyway. We can I can lovingly tell you what I believe, and you can lovingly tell you what you believe. But it doesn't change the way I feel about you. I love you. That's the way it should be. I don't judge anybody. Let's see. Recording is not a right. It actually recording in public official that it actually is a right that's protected now. Um, let's see. Oh, are you the guy? Are you the guy with the beard? Low contrast. You have the beard. That's my guy. That is you. I think I do remember you. It's not. I agree. It's not antagonizing to. I believe that I've always told this to my rookies that I trained when I was at FTO. Is like we should act like we're on camera the whole shift that you're here. Like you have nothing to hide. Cameras should not sway you. It should actually, it should make you proud. Okay, yeah, they're holding me accountable. These are the citizens who I work for. They're holding me accountable, and I'm going to act right, and I'm not going to be bothered one bit. I've never been bothered by a camera. That's just never. That's your right. If you want to put a host of cameras on a traffic stop I may have to make or a situation I'm in, feel free. I do not have a Patreon. I'm not very computer savvy. Champaign Urbana. There you go. I've been there many, many times. How you doing? Seven kids. Yeah, seven kids. Kids are a blessing. My kids are from 25 down to four. I got a house full. Oh my gosh, how many times you been to court and they thought I was on the other side? That's actually happened. That's happened like 4 or 5 times in my career. Um, I've been one time I remember I went to court and I was going to check in with the prosecutor. And I dress. I don't dress like a normal. I wear. You see some of my videos. I dress. I'm a good dresser. I dress fly like I'm going to a wedding. When I go to court, I look good. So I go up. I had a nice pinstripe suit on, looking fresh. And I go up and I check in with the prosecutor, and she goes, "Oh, defendants are on that table," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So she thought I was a felony defendant. So I kind of got a good laugh about it. People say, "Well, you should have made a complaint." And it's just funny to me. I told her, like, "Look, ma'am, I'm the officer on the case," and she felt so bad, but I didn't care. People judge me. They see a lot of tattoos, and people judge me. I'd rather get a laugh out of it and teach them a lesson that I'm just a good dude, no matter what I look like. So I remember having a judge one time in court ask why is this defendant sitting at this table? That happened maybe about a year ago, and the court, I believe, either the what do they call, the court reporter actually knew who I was. Like, no, judge, that's a so and so. So she told me afterwards, and the judge kind of like, oh, sorry. So yeah, that happens quite a bit. Have I seen Long Island audits? Yeah, Sean. I'm actually a friend. Sean is a good guy. Like I know Sean very well. His wife, he's why I'm kind of uh had a big to do on YouTube because he had me on his show. That's about a year, maybe 2 years ago, and I think I kind of surprised people with some of my answers on there, and it went really well. And Sean, I've talked to him plenty off of camera and like on the phone and stuff. He really all he wants to do is is hold people accountable, and he does it respectfully. And I support Sean. He's a friend of mine. The parking lot stores were moving. Coming from that, see that heat shield that means a lot to me. Um, Especially and you admit that we don't have the same belief system, but I really appreciate that heat shield. That means that really does mean a lot. I love you right back, brother. Yeah, everyone does struggle with mental health. I agree 1,000%. It's rough. This world is a tough place, no matter what you do. Mm. Minnesota, I just came up there. My Tyree was from St. Paul, Minnesota. You'll hear me talk about my adopted son Tyree a lot on here. He uh he died 4 years ago. He was from St. Paul, so I actually just visited up there a few months ago. So mm, I appreciate you, Canada. Oh, thank you, Josh. Yeah, that was fun going on, Sean. I remember being pretty nervous about going on Sean Reyes' show, because I did get a lot of backlash. But you know what, I shouldn't even be nervous about that. If I speak the truth in love, and I don't mean no harm, I just want to see our job get our profession do better. Um, so I didn't have a reason to be nervous. I'm grateful for that opportunity. Hold on one second. I got kids banging on the door. Yeah, hold on. I'm on the phone. Yeah, I'm never alone here. I'm probably gonna get yelled at in a minute. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of good officers. I don't want to ever take that away. Like act like I'm the only good one. I appreciate when people say that, but there's a lot of good supporting officers that do support. A lot of them. I feel blessed because I can speak out a little bit more. I think some of them aren't allowed to speak out. That's a sad truth. Follow Jesus Christ. Don't consider myself a Christian, because I don't want most. Yeah, I'm right with you on that. How do I deal with the pressure of quotas? Shouldn't they be stopped? Yes, quotas should be illegal. We don't have them at RPD. I can't say what they're. I'd have to actually look at state by state or county by county, but quotas should not be. There should be a thing of the past. Like that's. I have a lot of thoughts on that, and that those need to go away if they even still exist. I know we don't have them anymore. Um, haven't had those for that's been a long time. Thin blue line gang. I'm not a huge fan of any line. That's kind of why my hashtag is I call it line stepper challenge. That started a long time ago. I don't like no lines. I wanna erase the lines because the lines just create a divide. It's not us against them. It's not my side of the line against your side of the line. And that's what you kind of that's the mentality you take when there's a line there. Period. I don't want any lines. I want to step over those lines. That's why I say line stepper. I actually want to come up with a logo, to start promoting that more because any of that line, whatever that thin blue line, it's whatever it was originated as. It doesn't mean that anymore. It means to me, it means divide, um, because that's what so many people perceive it as. So I do not like it. Um, I do not. I don't. I don't want any line. I want to break this ugly divide. If it's just me, if it's at a small portion or you see a slight change in the way things are done, and then I want to keep making that change and keep saying this. I don't want that divide anymore with citizens. I can't stand it. I hate it. I want to bring people together. Let's see, the thin blue line started. It was the line between good and bad. Yeah, I don't really see the way I look at life. I don't look at a line between good and bad because who's to say where that line goes? I mean, I have a one of the people I'm helping start his nonprofit right now. He's a partner of mine, one of my best buddies. His name is Oscar. He don't mind me mentioning his name. He just got out of prison for doing almost 30 years for a murder. But the Lord saved him while he was in prison. He came out, he looked for me for help. So who am I to say there's a line? Well, you're a murderer, I'm a cop. So who am I to say, oh, there's a line that it doesn't divide good and evil? Like I'm just as broken as he is. He suffered he struggles in this world just the way that I do. So there's no line. It's just people. Do you think all shootings should be forced to take time off? Oh, that's a I think that's situational. It's very traumatic for that to happen. I've been involved. There's been about 7 or 8 of them since I've been in my city, since I've been around, and If they can't get their head straight afterwards, or they're not ready to go back, it should be monitored closely. It should be investigated by an outside agency. That needs to happen. Yeah, I agree. As long as their quotas will always be us versus them, though, right? And I agree. That's I I couldn't agree more. It really does. That's a perfect quote. It creates the hunter versus the hunted. I mean, that's couldn't say that any better myself. Yeah, and treat every person. Matthew 25. Actually, Matthew 24 is my favorite chapter in the Bible. But yeah, treat every person the same. I mean, the way that I see it, whether you believe in God, whether you're atheist, no matter what, it doesn't matter. But the way that I see it, the way that the Scripture tells me, Christ gave you two commands: love God, love one another. And He didn't just mean love the ones that are good to you. You love everybody and treat everybody with love and respect. That's got to be my philosophy in life. LA, I got to get out to LA County, man. I got some buddies out there. They actually came to videotape. Started to do a documentary. They followed me in a squad for about a week. We got to finish that out. They're all from LA. That's my guy. Anthony Scanner's his name. That's my man. I got family out in LA too. My daddy's from Riverside. I'm praying for you, Peter, man. If you've been struggling with addiction, I know what that feels like, man. Um, get well. I'll say a prayer for you, brother. Yeah, I understand, Sherry. That's why I don't know I don't want to down the what that the thin blue line thing where it started. I'm not a historian on it. I just know what a lot of people see in it now. And I'm just giving that's just my opinion on it. I just don't want no line. Mm. My no, no, my daddy's from Las Vegas. He was born in Riverside. He's from Las Vegas, and we live out here now. He moved out here. He moved to Vegas when he was young, and now I got all kind of family in Vegas. So my whole family, my grandma, my aunts, uncles, they all live right off there of Rancho and Sahara over there by Palace Station. So if I go out there, you'll see me out there going to the neighborhood. I go out there 2 3 times a year. Mm. I like. Do I like cats or dogs? I'm more of a dog person because I'm allergic to cats, but I'm allergic to dogs too. So I'm not really into either. I got a couple dogs, but I'm not a huge on animals. They can't cuddle with me because I can't breathe. Qualified immunity. That's one thing. Like, man, that is that's a complicated topic. I'm gonna get back to you on that because I have a lot of thoughts on that. That's more of that's not it's cut and dry, and have to do more research. I got to admit that's there's a lot of case law to look into and a lot of moving parts to that. But I will look into that unbiasedly, and I really want to start researching that and do some more educated videos on that. CT1 Accord. Oh, I made that drive, Riverside of Vegas. Don't worry, I made that drive. It's beautiful. There you go. Good news and no lines. I don't want lines. And no disrespect to anyone who may disagree with me. That's my opinion. But I think that's what's worked for me. If you would watch, and just I wish that I could bring everybody. Maybe I'll go live from MFB, and you'll see how we've destroyed those lines where I'm from, and you'll see all the unlikely kids that come and adults too that we bring together with no lines. I love that. We make that a new hashtag. More on low contrast, more on YouTube. I will be glad to. Yeah, I mean, I will say this about that qualified immunity. Um, from what I've seen, it really has protected people that I've seen in cases that shouldn't have been protected, obviously. Um, but I can't say that I'm an expert on that now. I don't like to speak too loudly on stuff that I haven't researched like thoroughly. because I need to be able to answer every question that comes upon. So I'm really still researching that and studying that. And but I will start doing videos on it as soon as I feel like I'm able to speak on it. Let's see. Do more lives with the option to give you financially. I don't even know how that works. Um, yeah, I'll research how to do that too. I don't do any of this for money or anything like that. I do it because I just love people. I love being a voice. I love connecting with. I've met so many cool people here on YouTube. Um, I want to get to all the comments. There's just so many. I wish there was like a inbox for YouTube too. I don't even know. Can someone advise on it? I don't know if there is, because I like to communicate with people and just talk to people. Can I buy lunch next time? Yeah, Las Vegas. Look me up. I'll probably, but next time I go, I'm gonna do some videos. So I'll be out in Vegas. I go there all the time. I went to Lake Tahoe when I was little. I want to go back. Yeah, I agree with you, bearing witness live. It's complicated, and I will look into that. I'm with you on that, though. I'm very, very unbiased and open minded. I'm just standing for what's right. Needs to be a case by case basis. That's kind of what I've seen so far. But I really want to, and I sent you one. I appreciate if you send me money. I'm just humbled by that. I really, really appreciate that. I want to get a better setup, so I can maybe start. Um, Looking back, I'm just really just sitting in the bedroom right now, and they told me they couldn't hear me earlier. So I really would like to. I have a lot of thoughts on a lot of things. Um, my father was military too, and giving his living. Yep, my that's awesome. That's awesome, Victory. My daddy was in the Navy. He was on a submarine during the Vietnam era. He's got some cool stories for me. I got like three or four uncles that were Vietnam veterans, Army veterans. No, I'm not a Mason. I know a few though. Donate the money to help this franchise. I actually a lot of I do raise money for the disenfranchised in the area. My father's business, which is my nonprofit, we've poured oh my gosh. I'd have to ask my sister or my staff members about the numbers, but I want to guess probably since we started, probably at least two, $300,000 we've raised and given back to the city. We do things like driver license drives. We got haircuts coming up for graduating kids. We um, help kids with let's see, we get kids that can't afford to get their lights on, kids that need food, kids that need help with resumes. We do all kind of stuff with that. We raise a lot of money for them. So let's see, what made my day today. Let me see, the Cubs winning. Well, that kind of made my day better today. um, Had a good day at work, getting ready to put these kids down to bed. Naples, Italy. Not from New York. I was born here, raised in Zion, but right outside of Chicago. Kim Conley, I really thank you. That's man, that's awesome of you. I appreciate you. I what I really do is the book that I wrote about what happened to me, and it's really a kind of a setup of my thoughts on what we need to do better in policing. It's just a start because I got like two or three more books that are going to piggyback on this. But I'll put the link underneath. All of that money goes to my nonprofit. If you order the book, we're on Amazon. But I'll put the link under here too. I'll try to pin the comment if I can figure out how to do that. Mm. Yeah, my father's business, what it's called, man. We've saved, oh my gosh, I got so many stories out of there. The Lord has saved a lot of kids out of there. We've gotten so many kids. I think I'd have to look at the numbers, the figures, but we've helped so many kids like get into trade school, graduate, help them out with life, help them out, help keep them out of trouble, help them just find better ways. There's so many stories. I don't even, man, we gotta the stories are there's been thousands of kids go in and out. Let's see, we got one kid in the NBA right now that's been through our program. We got one who's um, about to be blow up on the music scene. We got so many kids from some of the most famous that you'd be shocked that came to our program, and then everyone else just falls. just comes and from the ages of, I'd say we right about now we started about the age of 10 and we go to just to adulthood. But there's so many awesome kids in there. You see, all my videos are from there. That's my crew. Pit stop outreach. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I got a lot of good connections with other with law enforcement agencies. I actually teach a CIT class, training class. I talk to officers about mental health and about different outlook to taking a different outlook in this job. I've been I'm a speaker at a huge conference that's coming up in June, and I do conferences a lot. I do small speaking engagements. I do speaking engagements at churches. I go to youth groups. I do all kind of speaking and try to help out. Um, I do help out a lot of other law enforcement agencies too. We have a lot of fun doing that. All right, Las Vegas, that's awesome, man. That would be cool. Yeah, and there is a. I know that I do hear a lot that I'm the only the maybe because I'm vocal, but there are a lot of cops that think just like me, and I pitch this to all of our young officers coming in because I hate that old mentality. I'm not even go. We can go deeper into that on my next live because I got to get off here in a minute. But I teach all the youngsters. I tell them, man, whatever notions or preconceived notions that you might have had. This is how you do the job. Come here, I'm gonna show you. Bridging the gap. That's a huge motto. Um, that's what I want to do. That's my goal. Oh, how's the weather? Weather's out here is finally nice. Oh, Dwayne, I appreciate you for reading the book, man. That means everything to me. You see the prenote, what do they call it? The preface, preface. I'm not the smartest guy, even though I wrote, but I'm not no Mark Twain. Yeah, the preface was Tyree's actual letters to me that he wrote me before he passed away, which is, whew, I cried a lot of tears right now. Oh yeah, I take it upon myself to get into new cops' ears. I do that all the time. I appreciate you, man, from Alabama. That's awesome. I appreciate you, Mimi. I appreciate you reading the book. Uh, Jungle Forever. If you can't read, I'm gonna do an audio book very, very soon. Actually got to make that appointment before my publisher kills me. Neve's Knives, that's my guy. That's a Zion guy. That's my man right there. He remembers me from back in the day. And I put a video of me on Hebron, which is where he was from. That's actually where I met my adopted son Tyree lived there. And actually, growing up there, my best friend lived 2 blocks north of there, in those in the apartments they called in the 2400 block, Neve's Knives. It was they called it Murderville back then, but that's where my best friend lived. That's where I always was as a kid. So I'm still on those same streets. Loving those same streets the way I did back then. All right, well, I gotta get going too because I got my little ones knocking at the door. So I love you guys. I'm gonna try to do this more often. But I really, really do appreciate you here. I really mean that. Thanks for all the support and yeah, stay blessed. I'm gonna try to do this way more often. I didn't realize there would be so many people asking questions. But this is great, man. I really appreciate and love all you guys. Take care.